Mr. Gallagher, are you ready? Okay. Sorry. Okay, welcome to our third defense session. I would like to, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. John Henry Fleischer.
Imagine a world that completely lacks all aspects of knowledge and tradition. In this world, academic learning is shunned and hated. There are no books, no schools, no laboratories, no hospitals. In other words, anything remotely connected to learning is non-existent. Even worse, all connection to the past is completely lost. There is no recorded memory of what came before these dark times, meaning the wisdom and teachings of the past have all been forgotten. With no way to elevate their hearts and minds, those who inhabit this world busy themselves the best they can with the basic needs of survival. They live in a stagnant, primitive existence of ignorance and falsehood. Because of the lack of knowledge and tradition, humanity has lost the ability to pursue true meaning and happiness. It's hard to imagine a world so vastly different from ours today. Due to the passed down knowledge and traditions of those before us, our world has been able to achieve unimaginable wonders. Modern day conveniences such as technology, transportation, and advanced medicine can all be attributed to humanity's legacy of discovery and learning. Most importantly, the wisdom and instruction of our forefathers has allowed us to pursue truth and goodness. However, the United States is in danger of losing almost everything that has allowed it to flourish. In contemporary American society, students are often not taught the true importance and place of tradition. The foundation of the past and the true value of preserved knowledge are often disregarded. This dismissal can lead to a perverted understanding and misuse of knowledge. Since so much of one's society and culture are built upon tradition, it is crucial to understand how the past shapes the present. Without an understanding of knowledge and how to properly use it, society and culture will collapse into ignorance and falsehood. The issue that is quickly enveloping America can likewise be seen in Walter M. Miller Jr.'s novel, A Canticle for Leibowitz. In the novel, Miller presents the world in the primitive state I earlier described. However, there is one exception. An order of Roman Catholic monks stand alone against the rejection of knowledge and tradition. The Albertian Order of Leibowitz is tasked with collecting, protecting, and preserving the legacy of all the knowledge, history, and education of the past that has been destroyed and forgotten. Through copying and preserving books, scientific documents, and other components of learning, the monks keep knowledge of the past alive. A Canticle for Leibowitz demonstrates that knowledge must be preserved through the generations for the achievement of the human good, because knowledge, being a reflection of truth itself, is a means by which mankind can seek after and attain an understanding of truth. Furthermore, tradition functions as a necessary structure and guide through which mankind can use to preserve knowledge and the truth it contains in accord with goodness and virtue. Miller proves the importance of preserving knowledge and tradition by contrasting the state of the monks to that of the rest of the world. Knowledge is a reflection of the truths present in God's creation, which mankind is able to discover through learning. Therefore, by studying the knowledge they keep alive, the monks develop an understanding of reason and truth, bringing them in accord with a fulfilled human life. Throughout the novel, the monks demonstrate an awareness of the past and reality around them. Whether this be an understanding of long-lost languages or mathematical concepts, the monks demonstrate how their study of knowledge has enlightened their ability to comprehend the world around them and discern the truth. Those outside the schooling of the monks, on the other hand, have no means to develop their hearts and minds. Worse still, they lose the means to achieve an understanding of reason and truth. Due to the lack of all knowledge and learning in these societies, quote, truth and meaning resided, unseen, only in the objective logos of nature and the ineffable logos of God, end quote. Here, Miller reveals that without a preservation of knowledge, humanity will lose the means to understand the objective truth that exists within the nature that God has created. Only the monks, realizing the objective logos or truth present within reality, can pursue meaningful human lives. The monks also show the importance of implementing tradition as a structure and guide for using knowledge. Tradition is the passed down wisdom of the understanding man has discovered and held across generations about the highest good and right action. The monks' traditions of faith remind them that knowledge is not something created by humanity, but by God. As the order's abbot observes, quote, "There was objective meaning in the world, the non-moral logos or design of the Creator, but such meanings were God's and not man's," end quote. With this mindset, the monks' traditions of faith instruct them that knowledge is not a tool to be used, but rather a lens given by God that can lead one to truth, goodness, and ultimate happiness. Therefore, tradition acts as a guide, or rather a way of life, which teaches the monks to pursue what is truly good and meaningful. By having this proper view of knowledge, the monks recognize the inherent value in it as a reflection of truth. As a result, they use knowledge according to goodness and virtue in order to bring themselves to a fulfilled human life. Just as our present society, those in the novel develop powerful technologies and a vast intellectual understanding of science and nature. However, when tradition is abandoned and knowledge is not used for its proper end, humanity loses the ability to pursue goodness and meaning. As one monk says, once tradition is abandoned, humanity, in its pursuit of truth, will only find an imperfect incarnation, a, quote, dark reflection within the mind and speech and culture of a given human society, which might ascribe values to the meanings so that they become valid in a human sense within the culture, end quote. This example shows that by rejecting tradition, the guide to properly understanding and using knowledge, humanity will create its own corrupt interpretation of truth. Its societies will no longer be centered around what is actually true, good, and meaningful, but merely those societies' own twisted conceptions. By abandoning all traditions and faith in a higher order, the world loses the guide to properly understand and care for knowledge. Their misconceptions of truth and goodness breed a desire for wealth, power, and comfort. Or in other words, they use knowledge merely to pursue earthly happiness. Without tradition, the societies in the novel have no way to understand the goodness, truth, and beauty contained in knowledge. As shown by the societies in the novel, if knowledge is not properly protected and used, the society will degrade. America will likewise fall into the same disastrous situation if it continues to dismiss the preserved knowledge and traditions of the past. Only by preserving and treasuring the knowledge and traditions that have come before us will we be able to properly use knowledge and attain an understanding of truth and human goodness. Despite the danger America faces today, not all hope is lost. A Canticle for Leibowitz serves as a reminder that knowledge, guided by tradition, is the surest way to ultimate truth and the human good. Standing firm in the time-tested traditions of the past will enable America to retain a respect for the legacy of knowledge and learning of humanity. Furthermore, these traditions instill a love for inherent truth, enabling mankind to pursue a meaningful life of goodness and virtue. Thank you.